Oh dear, I've already spilled. Hello and welcome back to my channel. As you can tell already, we're gonna have a little bit of a different video. Tonight, I really just wanna experiment. I wanna have my nightly tea, because that's been my routine recently, is just having some, it's called Nighty Night. I really don't know a lot about tea, but this tea is the best tea in the whole world. It's called Nighty Nights by Traditional Medicinals. Actually, there's always a quote on the back of these little tea bag, like the ends of it. So let's read it. He who wants a rose must respect the thorn. Okay. Sometimes they're a little bit too out there for me to be like, oh yeah, totally. But tonight I really just want to experiment. It is getting dark out. It's like, it's the perfect time when I just want to be chill and just experiment with some fabric and just like make my ideas and just wind down for the night and just, yeah, that's okay. That's it. But this time I'll take you guys along with me. So I do have a plan. I have a plan for tonight. So I really want to make these corner bookmarks, which, full disclosure, I've already made 3. And I made them the other night, just like the same time when I was just like winding down, trying to figure out what to make with all my different scraps. So let's just go in order. This is the very first one that I made. As you can tell, there's a little flap here. This is not going well right here. I don't know what's going on there. And on the back side, this is one of the scraps. It's like, if you watch my upcycle quilt video, I cut out little squares from the tote bags, and these are the little squares that I had left over. So I used one of those, and I used the liner from those bags to make a little corner bookmark. And let me show you how it's supposed to work. Obviously this one has got strings all over it. I mean, it's just not one that I'm gonna keep, but it was like one to experiment with. So let me show you how it works. So you just slide it right onto the corner of your page. I usually would put like a couple pages in there just so that it's not so flimsy, but it's to mark your little spot in your book. So then you have a little corner fabric bookmark. It's just adorable. And I think it'd be a great way to upcycle, or not upcycle, but use up my scraps that I have, because I have way too many of these little square scraps, and I'm losing my mind trying to find a spot to keep them in my office. So not only from the quilts, but also just from regular tote bags in general. Let me show you my entire bin. Look at this bin. This is the whole bin of little square scraps that I have. I mean, this thing is huge. So it's like, I gotta do something with them. So I experimented with a couple other ones. This one I posted to my story, and you guys were in love with it. You guys were like, okay, these need to go on the shop immediately. And this was actually from that custom tote bag that I had in my last video when we were packing orders. So this was the little scrap that I made from that tote bag, just the little red plush, and there's some batting on the inside of here too. It doesn't quite look like it, but it is there. And so this red part is the part that was quilted, and then this was the liner. So I just put it as a little corner. And I love how this one turned out. I think it turned out great. It's the perfect size. I think it holds up. I mean, like, I don't have any notes. I just like it. Like, I don't know what I would change. Other than this one, I kind of wanted a label on it. So I'm like trying to figure out what I would do for that. And this is the one that I made. So this is the very popular colorful picnic print on the inside here. And then this is the popular liner that goes with it, just the mini colorful flowers. And I did add my label to the top there, so you can probably read that. It says Xoxo Charley, and these are the same labels that I use for my scrunchies. And I just figure since it's double-sided, that'll be good. I don't know, because I guess you use the corner bookmark either this way or this way, so it doesn't really matter which side it goes on. But yeah, I think they turned out really cute. And so these are kind of what I'm thinking I'm gonna try and make tonight. I mean, I've already made them, but I want to like perfect them. I want to experiment with the quilts, since this one did not turn out very good. It's just kind of a little bit choppy. I don't know. Now that I have like some more experience with making them, I want to be able to get these up on the shop as well, to have at least another lower price point product for you guys. I always try and aim for products that I can not only use my scraps for, but also have a lower price point, because at markets that's also very beneficial, either just to get one more sale or to increase the number of products that people buy. And just with Christmas coming up, they'd be cute stocking stuffers. I don't know. I just think I just want to experiment, and honestly, I just want to sew. So that is what we're doing. I have laid out here just some of our materials. So these are our ones that we already made, so I'm gonna set those aside. We have our little labels. These are just white liners, so I typically use white for a lot of my products as the liner, so that's what all of these are, is when I cut out the liner for tote bags, I always save those scraps as well. So these will be the same size. So I saved all the white. I also have all these different colors. And then I also have all of these that aren't quilted. They're just the regular liner scraps. So we'll be able to pick and choose which ones we want to match with all of the different quilted squares. And then we also have these ones as well. And then obviously everything in the bin too. But this is really all I plan to do. Just have my tea. And so my tea is already like lukewarm. I feel like I'm chatting too much. I need to drink it. All right, let's see what we can do here. Oh my gosh, there's tea on my machine. Oh well, you know what? It's getting broken in. Okay, I want to perfect the colorful picnic one. So I think I'm gonna do the colorful picnic outer and the typical liner that I do. So the mini colorful flowers, pretty much what you just saw. And so I'm gonna do one square, and you like fold it in a triangle, and then you sew along this rim, which I have figured out, if I do a really small stitch length, I like it a lot more. So there's that. And I don't know what it is, but just the smaller stitch length makes it more tight, and it, like, I don't know, I just prefer it, honestly. I don't have to have a reason, I just like it. And then I'm gonna line that up perfectly with our corners here, or as best I can, and then get another liner for the other side. And the cool part about these little scraps, or at least these projects, is I can truly have one-of-a-kind little scraps, and like they don't have to match. You know what I mean? Like I could just have a dig bin of them at my market, and people can just kind of dig through and find one that they really like. Like this colorful picnic doesn't always have to go with colorful picnic. It could go with a different one. It could go with, I don't know. I just think that's what's really cool about these. And I also learned if I don't leave a big hole, I am not able to flip it. And then I'm actually gonna chop these corners just because that makes it easier, or not easier, but neater when you flip it. Ooh. Okay, let's see here. Honestly, this isn't really experimenting. This is more just like playing around with scraps and seeing what I can make, because I've already made these. I mean, 2 of them. I also did think about maybe doing an interfacing for these, like a pellon or something, which I did have a couple Instagram DMs about that, just so that they're a lot stiffer or like sturdier. And I kind of thought, well, I don't know about you guys, but if I iron my batting, it almost turns into like a pellon. It becomes very hard and not fluffy. And so I thought maybe I could just iron all of these after I'm done with them. I don't know. Oh no. I just broke a seam. See, now this is when it comes, I don't know, this is when it becomes unenjoyable. This is when you start breaking seams, and then you gotta flip it right back out. And then you guys know sewing at night is it's definitely not something that you should do for hours on end, because stuff like this happens, and then you're like, wait, where did it even tear? What? Wait, I heard it. Did you guys hear that pop? Where did it tear? Okay, what? I don't know what's going on. I'm just gonna stitch over it again. Okay, let's see. I swear I heard a pop, and then it like didn't even, let me check the other corners. What? I know I didn't imagine it. There was a pop and it fully ripped. I forgot the label, whatever. Okay, here is where, oh, yeah, that's an issue. Oh my gosh, it like fully ripped the actual fabric. Okay, cute. What in the world? Okay, off to a really poor start. I need to chill. I don't know what happened with that one. Honestly, let's try it again. Let's try it with one of the quilted little pieces, because those are really what inspired me to do this, because I can't figure out what to do with these little square scraps if I don't quilt them all together and make something. And I don't know, I just feel like I want to experiment and try different things. Ooh, another thing that I thought, what if we did, okay, so here's our square piece. This is the quilt piece that we're working with. What if, so this light blue was one of them that I did with this quilt, at least I think. I can't quite remember. And then I think we also did pink with this one, this very baby pink. So what if we did one of these colors as the little triangle, you know, that is on your page, and then the other one as the backing? I thought that could be cool. So let's try that. Maybe let's do pink as the triangle, since that'll be against the quilt. So I'm doing a stitch length of 2 just across that. This is the hard part about these little, wait, which way am I supposed to put this? Should I put it this way? Oh, wait, the quilt is gonna be the backing. Oh wait, no it won't. Wait, is the quilt the backing? On this one it's not, but on these ones it is. Or opposite, you know what I mean? Wait, I think it could go either way because you can flip this. Oh, okay. Oh wait, because the top stitch you can't. Oh yeah, okay. So I need to do the top stitch with whichever way I want it to be. But in theory, this one, it could have been flipped so that the pink or the red gingham is on the outside and the dots are against the dots. You know what I mean? And then I would just have to top stitch that way. But since I already top stitched it, it only works this way. So I could have it against the quilt. I think that's just in my mind. I think it's gonna work. So let's see here. I'm just gonna do that. Label. I think we're always gonna do the label on one side where the triangle is. And I'll just put that in when we get there, I guess. But I'm gonna do a pretty big margin this time, or at least bigger than last time. And I guess the label, I don't know, it doesn't really matter where exactly it is. I just want it on there somewhere. Oh, I also saw this trick on TikTok where if you turn your project to where, so like, okay, I got to the end of where I'm sewing and I'm gonna turn it towards the outside of the project and forward and back stitch just a little bit. And then also on the other side of the hole that I'm flipping inside out. And then that, let me cut the corners. Okay, and then that, when you're turning it inside out, well, I guess not when you're turning it, but you'll see. Let me just get to that point. Uh-oh, I don't think I made a big enough hole. What is this? Okay, there we go. So now, once I get to this point, yes, okay, so I can have the pink either against the quilt. Oh wait, no, I can't. Oh my gosh. Okay, so now I think I understand. So the label is gonna determine which way the little triangle is gonna be. So since we did the label right here, the pink is gonna be against the quilt, because if we try and turn this the other way to make it against the blue, I mean, the label is in there, so it's not gonna work out. So it's gonna have to be against the quilt. So when I was sandwiching it, I did the quilt, the pink, and then the blue. So whatever goes on top is eventually gonna be on bottom. Okay, no holes this time, so that's good. I'm gonna get my little purple, I actually don't know what this is called. It's, I got it from my grandma though, so, I mean, it works great. It just, you use it to poke out all the little corners and things. And I don't like to use this super pokey side because sometimes it rips the seams, you know? So I'm just gonna poke those out. I mean, look, they aren't gonna be perfect, but it's close enough. Okay, so what I was saying about the hole, I mean, it didn't really work, but in theory, if you forward and back stitch right by the hole, like if you go from here to the outside, it creates kind of a natural, I don't know, since those are stitched together, they're naturally gonna go inside when you're trying to close this hole. This one though, I mean, it's just not really doing it. Oops, okay. So I'm just gonna pin that. And then these ones I do top stitch in order to close the hole and just get a good top stitch around the whole thing. So I'm gonna do that. And I'm gonna do a pretty, maybe 2.5 for this. Oh my goodness. See, this will be the hardest part of making these, is trying to get this hole closed. Actually, that was not that hard at all. This is just when I hope and pray that my bobbin doesn't run out. I mean, you always do that, but especially right now. Yay. Okay. I don't know why, but these look like, I don't know, like they look handmade. They are, but maybe that is just because these are still my first couple that I've ever made. And like the hole, oh my gosh, you can blatantly tell where I flipped it. And the top stitch does not look good in some parts. What? Okay, I don't know what is going on here. Not sure if you can see there, but the top stitch just looks pretty gnarly in some areas. Like it's just not a tight stitch. I don't really know what's going on there. Maybe it's the length, or I don't know. I'm not like pushing and pulling it. It's just kind of looks really bad if I'm being honest. What in the world? Maybe it's just on the quilt. Is this one like that? No, this one isn't like that. Is it just on the quilt? Because maybe the quilt is so variable in the thickness throughout this border here. I guess, yeah, I can tell like there's visible knots. I mean, you know, a quilt is gonna have like some knots in it. But maybe that's what the issue is there's different thicknesses for like every single stitch. But then, I don't know, the top looks fine, it's just the bobbin. I need to work on centering the label, that's for sure. But otherwise, let's try it out. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. Look at this. Up first, you can just read a little Xoxo Charley, and then you open up your page, And look at this. So stinking cute. Are you kidding? Oh my gosh. I think I'd want to read all day, every day if this is what my bookmark looks like. Words are hard. That's so cute. We got to make sure that this is a perfect 90-degree angle though, because this one is a little bit off. It just like doesn't sit on the page perfect. So we need to make sure that that is. Otherwise it's so cute. I almost prefer the quilt on the outside though. Like if it was on the blue side instead of on this side. But maybe that's just personal preference. And even at like my markets, I would love to have just a little dig bin, and it's literally every single one is different. Like at some point, I'm just gonna blind reach one liner or two liners, one quilted piece. That's what I'm making. You know what? That's a good idea. Let's do that. Screw this one. I don't know what happened there. It's got a hole in it. This one is okay. I don't think I would sell it though. This one is cute, but there's no label. This one is adorable. This is the blueprint for us with the label. This one looks great. That's the one that I would sell. And then this one is, I don't even know. I'm gonna keep that one. My tea's probably cold. Yeah, all right. I'll have to drink that soon. Okay, let's do a little randomizer here. So these are all of our little colors to work with. I really wanna burn through some of my quilt scraps too, since those are still pretty recent. I think I could get them up on the shop and people would be able to still get them with their orders, but we'll see. So here's all of our little squares for the quilts, or at least the liners that we did for the quilt. So I'm just gonna set these over here, just in like a random pattern so that I can't see which one I'm gonna be choosing. Ow. And then these ones, actually I'm gonna save all of these because these are like fabrics that I have all the time. And then we're gonna go for a random quilt piece. And I don't know where all my, these are all just from one quilt, all of these little squares. So I'll just grab the first one and then I'll grab a random color. Is this boring? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. This is what happens when it gets really late at night. Okay, I'm gonna get just a random one. Let's do this one and this one. I'm gonna knock over my tea. Oh, does that look dumb? You know what? It's what I chose, so let's do it. And I want, so whatever is gonna be on the top will eventually be on the bottom. So I'm thinking, let's have the first one that I drew be the triangle, which I don't remember which one was first, so I'm just gonna do this one. Okay, then I'll lay that over our quilt, add the top, well, or the bottom, and let's sew it. Can't forget the label this time. Really, the hardest part is making sure that you have all the layers. That's the hardest part. And I'm not gonna do the whole thing where I sew towards the hole so that it goes like into the liner when I flip it, because that really did not work for this. All right, let's see how this one turned out. I don't know what I'm doing. The good news is these are really easy to make, so I'll be able to bulk prep these pretty easily. Maybe I could just make them as I'm sewing tote bags. Instead of like throwing all the scraps into my bin, I can just make them. That would be efficient. Okay, see, like this is not my cup of tea, but like this very well may be somebody's favorite. You know what I mean? Okay, let me sew the hole and then I'll show you. This looks, I don't know. This one is a little questionable. All right, I ended up doing a 2 for the stitch length for this one. And the backside actually turned out a lot better than I expected. And the hole. Okay, here's how this one looks. I am really not a big fan of this, but like I said, it may be somebody's cup of tea. It's just not really mine. I don't know. Mine is cold, I can tell you that. This is just, I don't know. I mean, like, it's cute. I just don't really like the color combo. Got a whole bunch of scraps on it now. Honestly, I think that this would be good though in the end for using up all my scraps and being able to have something that's unique and like all of them are different so that I'm not hand picking and like, honestly, any of these color combos I like except for the one that I chose. So I think that this would be a good idea going forward, maybe with all my quilt scraps and my tote bag scraps to make little corner bookmarks. And they work perfect. Like they're gonna hold your pages and mark your location in your book. Honestly, I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna bring this to my room, one of my old scrap ones, and use it when I'm reading tonight. Because look at how cute that is. I just love it. I think it's perfect. And the fact that you could fit a couple pages in there, I think I would prefer to do a couple pages because if you only do one page, I don't think holds as well. Or I guess it still would. I think I prefer a couple pages or like the look of that. So you just grab a couple pages back from where you're at, slide it on there, you're golden. How cute. I'm just thinking stocking stuffers, little like Easter baskets, just little gifts here and there. I don't know. They're perfect. And I think that they'll sell great at markets as well, especially with being a lower price point. I don't know, I'm thinking like $3, $4, like these are barely anything. So anyways, I might be down here a little bit longer just experimenting. Maybe I'll make another cup of tea. Yeah, this video is probably really short, so sorry about that, but I just want to get something up for you guys and just show you what I'm working on. I don't know why, but these little creative bursts always come at this time. It's like, let me see. It is currently 9, so I don't know why I always get them like really late at night and then I end up staying up way too late and then I get frustrated. So I need to change my pattern there, like I don't know, but this is just when I like to experiment, so I thought I'd take you guys along with me. And I know we didn't experiment that much, because like, what, we only made like 2, but maybe eventually these will be up on the shop. I'm not sure how that's gonna work if I do every single one a little bit different. Maybe it'll be like a random bookmark. I don't know, I like to give people options and I like them to choose exactly what they want. You know what I mean? Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope some of y'all can just relate that you just enjoy sewing at night, just experimenting and just winding down. Sometimes it's not so winding down, but more like getting angry at your machine. I've definitely been there. I might experiment a little bit longer and just make a couple for coming markets and see how they do at market. Maybe I'll see how they do at market and then maybe they'll migrate to the shop. But I hope you guys enjoyed this little mini video and I'll see you guys in my next one. Mwah. Bye. Oh, and let me know, would you be interested in these little bookmarks? I know on Instagram y'all were, but I think some people follow me on different platforms, so I want to hear from you guys too. What do you think? Not this one specifically. This one is my favorite. Let me find one. Like this one. This one's cute. It's not perfect, but it's cute. I don't know. I think they're adorable. Let me know. Okay. Bye.